What's up, guys? Back again with another video, man. Today's just an update on what's going on in the stock market. So a couple of things I want to talk about, a couple of companies I want to touch on and look at the stocks. So get ready for some free game. We're about to get it. All right, man. So I want to talk about a couple of things today. One of the first things we want to talk about is Amazon, but we're also going to touch on Tesla, and we're going to go ahead and also take a look at Square and some moves that they made today that pretty much, is going to be shaking things up. All right. So the first thing here is Amazon. If you own Amazon, you will know that Amazon the stock price fell by roughly about 7% today. They missed earnings, and pretty much what they're reporting is that they missed earnings because they're spending so much money on Amazon Prime, shifting it from a 2-day service to now a 1-day service. They've been doing a lot of stuff, experimenting with shipping. If you pay attention or you're living in a kind of urban neighborhood, you'll notice you start seeing a lot of Amazon vans driving around now. So they're pretty much trying to do shipping by themselves. They're making a lot of investment as far as buying vans. They're experimenting with drone deliveries. So a bunch of different things. So here we have these guys on Bloomberg talking about, Amazon, and that the spending did affect the bottom line, but it's also affecting sales. So it's costing them money to implement this new shipping strategy, this 1-day strategy, but it's paying off in terms of sales. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look at this video. I'll just play a little bit of it.
Break down what happened to the bottom line. You're still turning a profit, but that growth was slower. Why?
Well, actually, going to the quarter, there was a lot of angst around cost because we knew 1-day shipping would bring some variability in cost with it temporarily, albeit for a couple of quarters. And that variability sort of played out. Also, they are spending a lot on content, AWS, advertising division. So there is a spending cycle that's going on with a hint of variability here and there, which actually makes next couple of quarters the anxiety would continue from a cost perspective. But where it is paying off, it's like you're clearly seeing a sales impact happening on the retail side because of 1-day shipping. It will pay off longer term in terms of market share, in terms of revenue growth. But as far as cost variability is concerned, we think that'll continue for a few quarters.
Darren, are you...
All right. So pretty much what they're saying here is that pretty much the cost to implement 1-day shipping, it's going to affect the stock, I would say, for the next couple of quarters. It's going to affect the bottom line, but they are seeing an improvement in terms of sales. So obviously that makes sense. If someone can buy something on Amazon and wait 1 day versus 2 days, it's going to influence more sales. So supposedly that will work itself out in the long run, and I think it will. I think Amazon knows what they're doing. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the stock real quick. So let's go ahead and just type that in. And I just want to show you my holdings. I have 3 shares, as you can see, and pretty much it was down roughly, 6.73%. It represents only 20% of my portfolio. Well, I shouldn't say only. That's a big chunk. It is my largest holding, and today's return, as you can see, is negative $303.51. So it lost a good chunk. And like I said, if you go down to the EPS chart here, you could see that they fell short of the expected earnings per share. So that's one thing that's going on with Amazon, and the stock kind of took a nosedive because of that. And it's a big dip. It's trading at pretty much $1,661 right now, and this morning when I got up, it was roughly at like $1,770. So that's like a big drop. All right. So let's go on over to the web browser, And if you go ahead and just type Amazon in Google and then you go to the news section, they're also catching a lot of heat for their cloud-based service. They have a cloud-based service, and they are pretty much providing information to different companies and storing different, companies' data. They're storing data. They're providing, metrics based on data that they have stored. Now, apparently, we have a bunch of musicians coming together saying, hey, they're going to stop using the Amazon streaming service because they found out that Amazon is pretty much providing the cloud-based services to a private company that provides information to ICE. And ICE, as you guys know, has been in the news lately for a lot of, what people consider like human rights offenses, or abuses, human rights abuses. They've been rounding up immigrants, nonviolent immigrants, and they have been like separating kids from their parents. And it's just one big mess. I don't know how Amazon's going to get out of this, but, this is some more bad press for them. So I'm sure that's, not going to hurt the stock. Do I plan to sell Amazon? No. I think they'll iron out these quirks and it'll be back to smooth sailing and they'll become profitable eventually again. So, that's part of investing. You just got to ride out the wave. All right. So the next thing I want to take a look at is Tesla. Tesla is in the news. The stock pretty much shot up 20% or $45. And that was today. And one of the key things here, it says the stock price gain clobbered short sellers, bearish investors who bet shares will fall, with a $1.5 billion paper loss. So all those guys that were shorting the Tesla stock, they're hurting right now. But I mean, if you look at Tesla as a company, Elon Musk is kind of quirky, but he is a genius. And if you look at it, that's pretty much the only successful electric car company, in my opinion. Other companies have tried it before, but like a full electric car company with style, and the cars look nice and they're luxurious, So I think Tesla is gonna, I personally think that the stock is overvalued, so I wouldn't purchase it right now. I don't own it, but I only see this company growing. All right, so that's it for Tesla. All right, so the next thing I wanted to touch on is Square. So pretty much Square owns Cash App. And as you guys know, Cash App is pretty much an application where you can easily send funds to someone. So it's kind of like a Western Union kind of service, but inside an app. And I think all you need is the person's username and you can send them money. Well, now, in addition to providing that service, Cash App is also capitalizing on the fact that they have a lot of young people using their service. And these young people, these millennials, are part of this FIRE movement, and they're pretty much trying to target these people who are trying to become investors, these people who are part of the FIRE movement, and they're pretty much working on getting they're working on investing right now for their retirement. So Square decided to roll out a feature now on Cash App, which allows you to trade stocks for free. So pretty much Cash App is going to have a service similar to Robinhood. The difference is it's also going to allow you to do fractional shares. So whereas with Robinhood, you would have to purchase the entire stock, with the Cash App service, you can actually purchase a fractional share. So if you wanted to buy one share of Ford for, say, $9, you could. But if you wanted to buy a fraction of Ford for only $1, you can also do that. And I think that's a good business module for Cash App. They have a lot of young users, And a lot of young people now are getting used to investing, or they're getting hip to the idea of investing. The fact that you have apps like Robinhood where you could start investing on your phone, it seems like a natural progression for Square. The guys that own Square are the guys that started Twitter. These guys are very smart. I did a previous video before about Square. If you guys didn't see that, I suggest you go ahead and watch the that previous video. I'll also put a link in the description for that. But I think this is only going to help the Square stock, man. I think it's only going to help the company get bigger. And reading this article, from the gist of it, they're pretty much saying that they want to eventually slowly start rolling out more features where you can use Cash App pretty much like a debit card. You know, you could pretty much do the things that you could do with your debit card with Cash App. And the goal, obviously, is to get more people into keeping more funds in their Cash App. So that's only going to be a good thing for Square, man. I think this is going to be a winner for them. Yes, there's a lot of competition as far as, no brokerage, no fees, firms that, don't charge any type of fee to trade. There's Robinhood. Recently, you had Charles Schwab that dropped their fees, and a bunch of these other companies. But what Square is doing is they own Cash App, and they're just piggybacking off the fact that they have a bunch of young people using that app. And it's an app that's about money. And instead of spending all the money, you could pretty much invest some of the money. If you already have the app, you don't have to go through the learning curve of learning a new application like, say, Robinhood or Charles Schwab, or there's a couple of other ones. So it's providing that option. And the fact that it's also offering fractional shares, I think this is going to be a win, man. Like I told you guys in the previous video, if you don't own Square, I suggest you get up on it. This company is growing at an alarming rate. If you look at the stock and the 5-year chart, it has gone up roughly about 400% over the last 5 years. So these guys have established themselves as a payment giant in that industry. And I think it's only going to get better for them. All right. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you do like the content that was provided here, please go ahead and subscribe. Also, go ahead and smash that like button if you like the information provided here, man. It helps the video go a long way. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a good day.